If there is one thing that we productivity guru, rockstar, mogul, ninja samurais love to go on and on about, it is our schedules and how utterly customized and tailored they are towards our optimal working conditions, our chronotypes, and our secret wow rating addictions. But every single time we write another blog post or make another video about our scheduling hacks, I know there are many of you out there who are simply tearing your hair out at how unhelpful they are for you because you are dealing with an inconsistent and chaotic schedule that is out of your control. Whether it's due to your class schedule or a job, you simply don't have time for 3-hour morning routines with Vipassana meditations or 2-hour forest bathing sessions in the middle of the workday, to say nothing of consistently cooking dinner on a regular basis or getting to the gym as many times a week as you want. So what can be done for people in this situation? What do you do if you have an inconsistent and chaotic schedule that seems to hamper the development of new habits and block your progression towards your goals? Well, I've actually got a few suggestions for you in this video today because I have been in this situation in the past. Yes, now as an entrepreneur, I'm able to set my own schedule, but that wasn't always the case. All throughout high school, I had part-time jobs at grocery stores and Target and lots of other places where my manager basically set my schedule. I had pretty much no say in the matter. And even in college, I worked at a job where I had different hours almost every single week. So from those experiences, as well as a lot of online research that I did in preparation for this video, I want to give you some suggestions for making the most of an inconsistent schedule and still making progress on your goals despite it. And the first thing that I want to share here is a lesson that I learned very early on when I started my first job in college at the campus IT center, which was that I had to get my schedule into my own personal calendar as soon as I possibly could. See, my first job in college was working at the tech support center, answering calls and helping people fix their computers.
Hello IT, have you tried turning it off and on again?
And the cool thing about that job was that you could basically choose your own hours every single week, but there was a catch. Every week at a specific day and a specific time, a giant calendar of hour slots would become open to every employee in the company, which means that it was a first come, first served thing. If you were there first, you basically had the best pick of hours. You could get exactly what you wanted. But if you were there even, say, 5 minutes late sometimes, you could be looking at slim pickings. And there were certainly some weeks early on in my first semester at that job before I had really learned how important it was to get there early where this happened to me. So after a few harsh weeks trying to fill my hour quota with a bunch of little random half-an-hour sessions here and there between classes, I learned two important lessons. Number one, be sitting at that calendar, refreshing it over and over and over again right when those hours opened. And number two, which is the lesson I want to share here, the moment I understood what my schedule was on that work calendar, I needed to transfer it over to my Google Calendar, my personal calendar. Now, you know this is important for knowing when you're supposed to go to work, but this is also important for being able to develop healthy habits and work on your independent projects as well. What we're trying to avoid here is derailment, derailing on your goals, derailing on your habits. And yes, ultimately the thing that's going to cause this to happen is a lack of motivation and a lack of self-discipline, but the catalyst for those things can often be that inconsistent schedule. We kind of run on schedules, we run on consistency, and when external factors are really kind of destroying that for us, it can be hard to actually self-regulate. So the way that I combated that, and the way that I lessened its impact on my life, was by getting very good at managing my own personal schedule and at getting things into my calendar as early as possible. What this did was allow me to sit down at the beginning of the week and look at my calendar from a bird's eye view. Yes, it was an inconsistent schedule, but I was able to identify lots of little blocks of time that were free to me. So maybe I couldn't say go to the gym every single morning or have time to cook dinner at the same time every single night, but I could look and say, all right, I've got Monday and Wednesday free, so I'm going to schedule gym time during those free blocks. Tuesday morning's taken up by work and class, but I do have a tiny block Tuesday afternoon free, so maybe I'll go for a run then. And what I found over the years is that when I plan things in advance, I feel sort of beholden to my past self, so it's more likely that I'm going to actually do them. It's definitely not foolproof. It's not like I've got a combat boot wearing fairy about ready to kick me in the butt if I don't do what I set out to do, but it's much better than trying to decide in the moment that I'm going to do something because I've got a couple of free hours. So when you've got an inconsistent schedule, make sure you're getting things into your personal calendar as early as you possibly can, and then sitting down once a week, overviewing your calendar and picking out those free hours that aren't already taken up by something and deciding what you're going to do with them ahead of time. Now, one thing that I fortunately didn't have to deal with during my years of part-time job work was night shift work, having an inconsistent sleep schedule dictated by my job. But I know that this is something that a lot of people do deal with, including a couple of friends of mine who work at a hospital, so I wanted to include a few tips for if you're in this situation as well. First and foremost, if the consistency of your sleep is under attack by an inconsistent schedule, then what you need to prioritize getting is enough sleep. You may not be able to get it at the same time time every single night, but you can at least make sure you're getting enough. Now, one of the things that can really hamper this goal for a lot of shift workers is the fact that they're trying to get sleep during the day, and they're under assault by light coming in through their windows, by noise being made by their roommates, or T-Rexes in the other room if you work at Jurassic Park, all kinds of stuff. So what do you do in that situation? Well, tip number one, you get what I have hanging right over there in this studio, a pair of good blackout curtains. See, your body's circadian rhythm, the synchronization with the day and night schedule, and part of the biological process that regulates your sleep is heavily influenced by the amount of light that you are perceiving. To give you a really quick refresher from 9th grade biology class, in your eye you have, in addition to cones and rods that sense things like detail and color and movement, something called photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. And these cells perceive light and send signals to a part of the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Now, this little piece of brain hardware sends instructions to other parts of the body which regulate the production of hormones like melatonin and cortisol, and these affect your sleep and your sleep drive. So long story short, if you have a bunch of light coming in through your window while you're trying to get some sleep because it's 7 a.m. and you just got done with the shift, you're gonna have a harder time actually falling asleep. Your body doesn't think it's time for sleep. But if you have a pair of blackout curtains, then that basically solves the problem. Your room is dark and your body can think that it's nighttime. Of course, light isn't the only problem you have to deal with if you're trying to sleep during the day, because you also have to contend with noise, whether it's your roommates in the other room or literally the band Dragon Force if you are a particularly sleepy roadie. So to deal with all that noise, make an investment in a good pair of earplugs. And by investment, I mean like $2 because earplugs are super cheap. Now, one thing that I do want to mention before we move on from this issue of dealing with your sleep schedule is that you could actually change that sleep schedule. Most people sleep in what's called a monophasic sleep schedule, which means they sleep in one long 7 to 8 hour block of time each night. But there are also polyphasic sleep schedules. Now, a lot of these are ineffective and result in not sleeping enough hours total, but the one that I want to suggest here, which can be effective, is the simple biphasic sleep schedule. This is a schedule where you have a 4 to 5 hour core block of sleep each night, followed by a 2 to 3 hour longer nap during the middle of the day or at some other time. And there was actually a NASA-funded study that looked at the effectiveness of this sleep schedule for astronauts, and they came to the conclusion that split sleep schedules are feasible and can be used to enhance the flexibility of sleep work schedules for space operations involving restricted nocturnal sleep due to mission-critical task scheduling. Dim run-on sentences. It goes on to say that these results are generally applicable to any continuous industrial operation that involves sleep restriction, night operations, and shift work. So given those results, this might be something to look into if you don't have time for a monophasic schedule. Now, one thing to note is that all the tips we've gone over so far are meant to help you deal with a chaotic schedule, but ultimately the goal should be to actually escape it. Yes, for people with certain career goals like EMTs or surgeons, an inconsistent schedule might just come with the territory, but for most of us, having a chaotic schedule is just kind of part of paying our dues. It's a byproduct of the jobs and obligations we have to take on while we're in school or otherwise climbing up the ladder. So if you eventually want to have a more consistent and manageable schedule and be able to have those 3-hour morning routines, then be on the lookout for jobs and opportunities that would get you closer to it. Or negotiate with your manager at your current job once you've proven yourself to see if you can start moving towards more consistent hours there. And of course, use some of your free time to bolster your career skills so you can put yourself in a better negotiating position. Work on your soft skills like communication and organization, but also work on becoming a better creative problem solver, someone who can tackle the more challenging, complex problems that every business deals with. And if you want a resource that you can use to start building those problem-solving abilities, check out Brilliant. Brilliant is a math and science learning tool that focuses on helping you learn actively and become a truly capable problem solver. Their courses throw you immediately into challenging problems that not only help you learn about subjects like calculus and machine learning really effectively, but also help you become universally better at dealing with the type of complex problems you'll face in your future career. Brilliant's library has courses on probability, on math for quantitative finance, physics and astronomy, and computer science topics like algorithms and memory. And in addition to being able to learn right on their website, you'll also find mobile apps that allow you to work on your courses wherever you are. So to start learning for free, head on over to brilliant.org/ThomasFrank. And if you were one of the first 83 people to click that link in the description down below and sign up, you're also gonna get 20% off your annual premium subscription. I wanna give a big thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this video and being a supporter of this channel. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, maybe think about hitting that like button and also subscribe right there if you don't wanna miss future videos when they come out every single week. You can also get a free copy of my book on how to earn better grades by clicking right there. Follow me on Instagram @TomFrankly, and last but not least, you can get one more video on this channel by clicking right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.